Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Okay guys, this is a live feed, so I thought I might as well freestyle this. Hopefully you'll be able to keep pace with what it is, or at least I'll make sense, I'm hoping. But what we've got is NASA right now um, uh, doing another launch of a rocket, which is quite suspicious indeed, simply because it's within 3 days of the Zuma satellite being launched as well, within a handful of days at least. And then around the Zuma satellite being launched, we also had Russia, China, and goodness me, who else? Japan, who had launched rockets within 4 days of each other, and all of them very suspicious indeed. But then it seems like they're trying to stage this false extraterrestrial contact we've spoken of, and my understanding is it's related to, for those of you who've been following the vlogs, to the incoming passage of this so-called unique asteroid that came into our solar system from another star system, supposedly, and has this trajectory, and it's not typical of a asteroid in the sense that it didn't have this sort of a signature, the typical signature that a asteroid or a meteorite would have, and this sort of a tail or debris along with it. So they were trying to communicate with it, following which we saw a very interesting sequence of events with all these other space agencies launching their rockets. And now what we've got is NASA themselves launching a rocket. Right, this is happening right now. UK time, there you go, it's 10 at night, 11th of January 2018. Now, if you guys could follow me on this, and certainly look up this launch, it's still running for any of you who tune in before this is over. If you follow me, what you'll find is this launch is concerning a secretive government payload, right, which is very similar to the Zuma satellite that was launched by SpaceX and done by a government agency, and they're not saying much about it. And this is just, again, part of the PSY-OP, just to encourage some level of curiosity and conspiracy, so that people obviously hearken onto it, anchor onto this, and then maybe perhaps put one and one together and come out with 11, and 11 would be, again, if this is indeed a PSY-OP, then for people to think that they're trying to communicate with these non-terrestrial entities whom they have actually established some sort of contact with. Right now, understand that I've always claimed that there'll be a nuclear war, and during that, these beings will maybe mitigate, and this is how the world will come to learn of them, and then the rest that I've already postulated in the science PDF. But I want you guys to follow me on this train of thought. What you're going to see over here is this is actually the logo for this particular launch as it's happening right now, period. And interesting enough, what you've got, any of you who are familiar with the occult, you'll understand that this dragon, he represents Lucifer, which is Iblis Lanatullahi alayhi, Satan, and you've also in the shape of an Ouroboros, because if you do continue the line of this, the trajectory of this particular curve, you'll find that it's almost a circle, but you've got this knight, interesting enough, hiding that circle. But let's draw our attention on this knight now, seeing as he's the one who's occluding the tail of the dragon, as it were, or the snake, the serpent. What we've got is a black knight. Now, again, that should ring alarm bells. I'm sure some of you have already cottoned on to where I'm going with this. There's a satellite that's always been... by the way, guys, these swords are typical of the Knights Templars, so again, it's very symbolic, right? And so is this particular sword. And then you've got this knight, and he's a black knight, okay? Now, follow me on this, guys, because I'm going to take you somewhere very quickly. Some of you may have already cottoned on to this, right? But you'll see these patterns emerge, and I don't think it's serendipity whatsoever. Okay, black knight, satellite. Okay, so Black Knight satellite is apparently a real satellite that is above our atmosphere. There you go. And they claim that it's been there for about 13,000 years above our atmosphere, and for some strange reason it alludes us as to where it's come from or what its origin is, but it's been there since the dawn of time. So again, there's this extraterrestrial origin. Do you see that? The Black Knight satellite of the Earth. Now I'm going to take you to an advert done by Pepsi. Black Knight satellite Pepsi commercial. Let's watch this together, and then what we'll do is we'll just leave it at that, I guess, right? Okay. Pepsi commercial, Black Knight decoded, no. Black Knight decoded, no. I actually want to see the commercial, which would be nice. Black Knight, everyone's decoding them, but we want to see the advert itself, don't we? Wow. Black Knight, Black Knight, Black Knight. Pepsi commercial. Yeah, full. Original, thank you. So very quickly we're going to see this, hopefully if we can find it. Okay, everyone seems to be decoding this. So let's go to this individual because I do have a lot of time for this guy. Oop.
Planet, and then, this whole thing starts off with the 1999 the fact that they say that this is not science fiction.
Sorry guys, I'm going to have to take you to something else because it seems like he's talking over it, and for the obvious reasons, here's the advert. Nikola Tesla apparently discovered that 13,000 years, and they present this is not fiction, this is real, and it's from the Pepsi advert. So you can see how this PSY-OP has been going on for quite a long time now, trying to introduce humanity to the possibility of extraterrestrials contacting us. For those of you who haven't seen this advert, I do recommend it. I'm not going to post it simply because I don't want to get one of those copyright strikes. But again, you can see the very interesting and eerie relationship between all this extraterrestrial fast phenomena, the Black Knight, and then the logo and the imagery and everything else that they're depicting, and then this talk about recent push through mainstream media and the Pentagon discussing and exploring. It seems to be a soft disclosure, a soft false disclosure. That's a PSY-OP. So this is this is at least what I believe to be the case, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best, but I thought I'd archive this and just draw your attention to the sort of patterns that I'm seeing emerging, and maybe perhaps you'll agree, and Allah subhanahu time will tell. Jazakallahu khairan wa assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.